You know, a lot of businesses fail because of that mismarketing. I mean, we've seen some big companies go down recently, you know, because they put a whole lot into marketing and didn't even know the market.
Exactly. It's like within the jerky business, it took me 2 years of picking up the phone for Alien Fresh Jerky every day to learn our customers. But once I did, growth was really easy to achieve. And I don't expect people to go to those lengths to understand their customer, but it was the most profitable thing I've ever done in the business, was to take time to understand who finds value in what we do, because often it's not who you think, and we are not our customers. So we often try to create marketing messages and products that appease us and appease our friends, and we get these like pats on the back and get awards and stuff, but none of that matters. It's all about putting dollars in the bank, and if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense, right?
Absolutely. I mean, and you know, we've seen this happen in the cannabis industry, where you'll have a celebrity come in because, you know, they figure they got a celebrity name, and they'll come into the cannabis industry and they figure that is enough marketing. And realistically, you know, they don't know that the consumers are very fickle, and they got to know that you've been in this industry in some way, in either an activist role or a advocacy role, or, you know, if you were in the black market of in any sort of way related to the cannabis industry, you know, they're not so accepting of people coming in just to make money on cannabis. You know, you have to have like a familiarity with these folks and some sort of engagement and some sort of trust. And they got to know that, you know, there's a passion and not just a passion for the money. Because there's a lot of people that come in and the marketing companies feel, you know, we got this celebrity name, we're going to push this, and, you know, it does nothing for the brand because they didn't do the diligence on, you know, the consumers of that brand and how they relate to this particular celebrity. So like, if you got a celebrity coming in trying to cash in on the cannabis industry, for instance, and I know that's not necessarily the overall of this conversation, but if they're not known to smoke cannabis, they've never been, you know, quoted as saying that they were in support of, and they just came out of the blue and I want to be in the cannabis industry now. Yeah, they wouldn't get so much support. People would look at them funny, and it doesn't matter how much money you put into the marketing of that. People just, you know, the actual cannabis consumers, the connoisseurs, and the people that visit these shops day to day, they won't even touch that. They might buy it one time as a novelty buy, but that's it. And then that brand goes away because realistically, no one is getting behind it.
Yeah. It's important to know your talent.
Sometimes you see that, and these marketing companies will gas people and say, "Oh man, we'll hit home runs with this all day," and you know, they don't necessarily do that. It's important that the people that are creating the brand get involved in you know, do it organically. No pun intended.
Yeah, and authentically, you know, because who wants to eat the cooking of a chef that doesn't eat at his own restaurant, you know?
Right.
Like, I understand that completely. And I'm curious too, you must have a lot of people approaching you for deals all the time. How do you separate the folks that are worth doing business with from the people who are not?
Truthfully, I had stopped taking meetings for a long time because there's so many people that are full of shit out there, and they want to build their brands off the back of mine. And you know, because I'll listen to the conversation, obviously, and I'll read in between the lines, and I'll know if this person wants to be a partner or they're trying to build off of me, you know. And so for a long time, I was getting a lot of that. And so I stopped taking meetings, and you know, I told all my partners, I said, hey man, unless it's something 100%, you know, worth our time, I'm not sitting in with nobody. And I know that's a little much and a little arrogant, especially when you're trying to build a brand. But, you know, man, coming from the recording industry, man, I've sat in with a lot of sharks and a lot of real people and people that it was frustrating in the beginning. But as of late, it's been much easier. And, we've showed proof of concept with what we can do in the cannabis industry. So it makes it easier to meet with serious people. So I think you got to, keep an open mind and also keep your ear to the streets and the industry, like on all the new tech coming out as it relates to cannabis and whatnot, at least for us that are in the cannabis industry. Mm-hmm. And, be aware of where the trends in terms of genetics are going. Now, there used to be like 4 or 5 strains that were the go-tos that everyone loved and they wouldn't touch anything else. Mm-hmm. But as of the last, 5, 6, 7 years, maybe there's this explosion of exotic type of genetics that everybody wants and everybody has to have. So, it's keeping your eyes and ears on all the things that relate to the industry, those things, and keeping open-minded and not saying, well, this thing works for us. We're not going to mess around and do any of this other stuff because we don't want to take the chance. And, when you do that, you sort of anchor yourself because, something new is always coming out. And as much as people like the consistency and the quality of the one thing, they like variety. And if you can provide them quality and consistency and that quality and those variety of things, they will go to it. And now there's so many brands out there that do that. So you sort of have to find your way, to plug into that and to keep up or be ahead. And so, that's what, that's our mindset, is always be ahead. So that means being open, but being smart and doing our homework on what we're getting into and who we are talking to about getting, doing the business with, I should say.
Mm-hmm. No, very well said. Answer. Very well said. Well, I want to applaud you again for all your success, B. Now, the whole point of Rebel Retailer is showing the success of the celebrities that they have featured on the snack boxes. We have the Be Real snack box. You guys can get it at rebelretailer.com. The info's here at the bottom of the screen. And again, I want to applaud you, Be Real. You've been in the industry for over 30 years and you're very successful. You have your own star on Hollywood Boulevard. So you've definitely accomplished a lot in your life.